Hello, mate.
Big up everybody and welcome back to B.M.G.T. My name's P209 and I'm your host. Hello Pete, can you hear me? Hello Pete, can
Big
you
up,
hear me?
Phil.
There
Get
you
up a
go.
little
I
bit.
can hear you now. Sorry about that. I'm on my phone. I don't know if it's coming off okay. I was hearing, I thought I could hear you, but how are you, my friend?
Oh,
You all right?
not too bad,
Same
mate.
as that, my friend. Same
Can
as
you hear
that.
me okay? I can't. You're breaking up a fair.
Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate. I don't know if, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, okay.
I can hear
Cool.
you fine. Right, okay. Right, so let's break it
Yeah,
down. Yeah,
you're
let's
breaking up
talk
a little
about
bit, but I
Masters
can
of the Universe. Oh, that's
sounds
okay.
good to me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, right, let's break into Masters of the Universe, yeah, and let's talk about something that has been a massive part of my childhood since 1982, and the life lessons that came from that. And we're going to talk about the new movie and how the new movie captured all of that magic and other incarnations of He-Man as well. Pete, what were your thoughts on He-Man?
I think we must be the same kind of age. I'm 52,
Mm-hmm.
so
Well, I'm 40. I'm 44 coming this year. So I was born the same year as He-Man was released as a cartoon. And my Saturday mornings, I remember getting up and watching the cartoons. Um, and I remember watching She-Ra. They were my escapism as a child. And it's the thought of having the power of Grayskull, and you have the power to basically shape your destiny around you. At the end of the day, you can ultimately conform, or you can. Oop, oh,
I got kicked
give me
out.
2
I
seconds.
got kicked out for some reason.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but yeah, I got kicked out of the chat.
Oh, okay, that was weird. Oh, we seem
Yeah.
to have something else. Oh, well, do we have two of you? Or oh, there we have one of you now. Right, okay, that was weird.
Yeah. So yeah,
That
you
was
were
weird.
saying.
Yeah, so it shaped a massive factor in my life, really, He-Man, because I remember getting up to watch it on a Saturday morning, and school holidays especially, they used to show on ITV1. But like I said, what are your thoughts on the
Yeah.
cartoon?
My thoughts, like I said, I think we must be similar age. I don't know if you're younger or slightly older, but I loved He-Man when I was growing up. Like I said, there were 3 or 4 shows that I watched religiously: He-Man, Mask, Transformers, and Centurions. They were my big 4, but He-Man
Oh,
did it for me.
oh, you was an ITV fan. Oh, fair enough, mate. I'm just thinking there, like
Yeah.
so the cats on the other side of BBC One, Visionaries, stuff like that. But yeah,
Oh,
Silverhawks and stuff like that. So a bit of an all-rounder, but yeah, I can see with Centurions here that you
it
did
was
like
the
ITV. Yeah, it was. It was when people ask the
Yeah,
question, yeah,
absolutely. He-Man was something else. You had action, you had muscles, you had creatures like Orko and Cringer and all the monsters.
Merman. Oh, you're breaking up, Pete.
Bloody everything going on. One of the great villains of all time. He's up there with Megatron. Camps was the perfect cartoon, and there was always a message at the end. Man, there was a nice.
Agreed. Every episode was done for a purpose, and the moral compass at the end of it would actually recap what the lesson was that the characters learned in that episode. So I agree with you 100%. And it was the same with She-Ra, to be fair. A little She-Ra was more of a looky, can you find him? But he would also give you the message of what the cartoon was about. This is what content I feel was more valuable then than it is now, because it was done for a reason in that aspect. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. He-Man and Skeletor, oh my word, what can I say? Alan Oppenheimer's Skeletor was something else. And I thought they actually captured that in the movie, Pete, if we're going to go to that. The way that Jay Leno played it, I felt he played it spot on. And he didn't take himself too seriously, but he also had the cackle and the laugh and the mannerisms that he had in the original one. That's what I felt. Hello, Pete. Can you hear me? Well, anyway, I think Pete's broken up. Hopefully, he'll come back in later on. But yeah, the movie itself. I'm going to enter the movie itself right now, and for me, the movie itself is a delightful movie. It's one of the best ones I've watched this year. And where in 1987 I felt they went wrong in the movie was solely based around He-Man. This movie was based around both the dynamics of Prince Adam and He-Man. So you have enough Adam so that you can build a familiarity, a interest in him as a character. And at the beginning, you could feel that he's a disappointment to his dad, because if you watch the original cartoon, which me and Pete were talking about, then you can see from that the dynamics of Randall was disappointed in Adam, and he also felt Adam was a bit of a letdown and a disappointment. But he always valued He-Man. Now, as everyone knows, yeah, Adam is the alter ego of He-Man. So when he's put down by Randall, he takes it personally. Now, not long after that, that's when Skeletor attacks and Adam has to go down to Earth and take the power sword and go down to Earth to escape from Skeletor's tyranny. Now, I'm not going to go into the full movie depth for you, but there is a cameo scene from Dolph Lundgren in there where, hopefully this will add Pete back to the stream, where it's a lovely scene with Dolph Lundgren in there. Hello, Pete. Can you hear me? Hopefully I've added you back to the scene.
Yeah, it kicks me out again.
Oh, I'm so sorry, mate. I was just going on to the movie, yeah, and just giving a reflection of how Dolph Lundgren made his cameo scene in the movie, where you see him talking to Adam, and the dynamics of Adam, they actually built on it, not like 1987, where in 87 I felt they just concentrated solely on He-Man and there was no Adam. So this time you had the dynamics of both Adam and He-Man, and you could build like a repertoire with Adam and the understanding of him as a character. And like I said, they built on that, and they showed the human side of him, and then they bring that out later. But we just have to establish that they made him human, and that everybody can feel a little bit like Adam in some way, shape, or form in their lives, where you don't know. You feel from one world, but you're not out of tune somewhere else, and that's what Adam had struggles with, where he felt like he wasn't like he was still he was still concentrated in Eternia, but he was on Earth. And we go into the human resources bit, but that's a bit later. And we don't want to go too much on it because we don't want people to not go and watch the movie themselves. But like I said, the character design of Adam, I felt was a bit like, you know, when you watch Superman and you watch Clark Kent and you watch the alter ego Superman, it was a bit like that. And then there's a part in the movie as well where they actually do a nod to the original source material for He-Man, where they put Conan the Barbarian, which is Noir, the Barbarian, and he gets a sword from him because that's where the power sword ends up. And like I say, they do a nod to the original toy line of Martel in that aspect. But then when they go back to Eternia and you see for the first time we actually get to see Snake Mountain, in a movie. And hopefully Pete comes back into this scene, because it seems like he's kicking them out all the time, which is unfair to him, because I know he's been looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll have him on and it will work a lot better the next time. But for me, Snake Mountain as Snake Mountain was originally, if you watch the 2002 version, the embodiment of Serpos, which is the god of the snake people, the snake men, which is led by King Hiss. Hopefully we'll have that coming into another movie later on, because this movie also leads into other ones which me and Pete were going to talk about, but I will describe to you later. Anyway, you get the dynamics of King Randor and Adam again when he sees him as He-Man this time, and he's fighting off the forces of Skeletor. Come on. Please tell me you're working this time. Right, hopefully it's working this time, Pete, and you're on there. Right, anyway, I was just talking about it's the third time lucky. Yeah, I was just describing the dynamics of Snake Mountain and finally having Snake Mountain in a movie, because I was just saying that the Snake Mountain, if you watch the 2002 version, was actually Serpos, the god of the snake men. And we actually get to see it in this film, and it's brilliant to see the set piece for Snake Mountain. We also get to see the Collector as well, which is Skeletor's ship. Basically, everything you had in the original cartoon and the other formats that came after it are basically all encapsulated into this new universe. We also get the. What did you think of the Skeletor Cross Eternia, Pete?
It blew me away. It was everything I'd hoped for. I mean, Snake Mountain looked fantastic. That and Castle Grayskull, they put. I couldn't have been any happier with what they done. I mean, going back to the first Masters of the Universe film, for me, that's an abomination on He-Man. It really was. It was.
Like I said earlier, they did a nod to it though with Dolph Lundgren, especially I watched it again this morning, and they did the good journey bit, which is what you see in the original Masters of the Universe. Yeah. So they did a nod to it, and then they also did that Skeletor across the planet bit, which is also a nod to it. And also wearing white. So
did you catch the other nod when Dolph Lundgren said to Adam, "Good journeys"?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another it was their phrase in the movie. Agreed. In the first one.
Agreed.
Yeah. There was I think the only quibble I've got in the film, and it's not a big quibble, it was King Randor, the way he treated.
Yeah, but then Pete, with that, I'm gonna say I think it built off the dynamics of parenthood in that aspect. I don't know if it's cut out again. Hopefully Pete will be back. But I don't know if they've taken it out of the concept of fathers letting down their children or trying to get a message across to their children that maybe they're not familiar with. Because what Randor says in that aspect is he saw that Adam was weak and a bit frail, so he wanted to toughen him up by showing him tough love. Now, for a child of that age, the world seems very, very small, but it's actually big. And he wanted to toughen up his son, which is why he, in the first bit when you watch the movie, threw down his son. Oh, let's have a look at the comment section, see if he's in the comments. And then hopefully we'll have Pete back on there again this time, fourth time lucky, hopefully. We'll have a look at the comment sections as well. So anyone in the comments, throw your comments in. We'll actually put it on the screen so that we can see that as well, because we can go along with the show, because we can't really see your comments right now. So anyone got comments, please throw them in the screen so that we can actually see what you're saying, and we can answer you accordingly. But as I was saying, hopefully Pete's in the chat. Can you hear me, Pete?
I'm back now, back again.
Right, okay. So what I was saying, yeah, is that you were saying that the way that Randall cheated Adam, I think he was showing him tough love, mate. And it's only when, just before he died, that he actually explained it to him that because he saw him as weak and frail at the time, he wanted to toughen him up because he saw the outside world taking him for taking advantage of him.
Yeah, there's tough love, but then there's, I mean, well, he shocked Man at Arms when Man at Arms is stood there with Adam saying, like, stand tall, stand proud, your dad's going to turn around and have a look at you in a minute, any second now, and he doesn't. That blanking of Adam, I think, went beyond tough love into, you're a bit of a CUNT. That's my take on it.
You could say that, couldn't you? You could say easily. You could say that he actually went there. He did go a bit too far. But then, yeah, you could say he did go too far. But then it's a message of the parenthood, though, isn't it? Because it fits in line with Man at Arms and Tila, if you can see that kind of dynamic as well, where the parents trying to get a message across to the child, but he gets lost in somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, again, well, there was a second little quibble, and again, it's a father figure. It's Man at Arms going to pieces after the Battle of Eternia. Again, it's like you didn't need to turn him into a drunken slob, but that's my only two quibbles. That is it. I mean, the rest of the film I absolutely bloody loved. It was fantastic. It's what I've been waiting for nearly 40 years for.
Agreed.
And
agreed.
To know that they're building, I mean, it's got a poor box office at the moment, but that's a lot of social media's causing that. I'm hoping it's going to build up because we need to see She-Ra. We've seen the teaser.
Oh yeah.
And I want to see. I need to see he transformed.
Well, we saw Battle Cat. Yeah, at the last bit of the movie, we did see Battle Cat, but we didn't get to see him Cringer in the armor. But we got to see Cringer right across the bridge as Cringer, but we never got to see the full the Battle Cat properly in his full glory. The same with Orko, to be fair. Orko came in at the post-end credit scene, but we never got to see Orko in the actual movie, which is another discredit to the movie. I would say a little slight one. But I'm 100% with Pete when he says it is the movie we've been waiting for since the cartoon first came out and the comics first came out in the 80s. It is that good. Unfortunately, due to box office, it's not getting what the love it truly deserves.
Yeah,
and that's the sad aspect. It's not getting what the love it truly deserves as a film. It is well worth watching for everybody out there. A lot of people come in there thinking it's a Star Wars, or it's not. It's a very good movie on its own right, and it shows you empowerment as well, which is why I love He-Man so much, is that it shows you empowerment and that you can achieve anything as long as you have the power within yourself. And even at the end, when you see the sorceress telling him, because what I said to you before, Pete, if you remember right, I said the sword was a conduit. That's what the He-Man Revelation told you. It was a conduit. He doesn't need the sword to transform. The sword just helps him transform and keeps it under control. But he can transform to He-Man because He-Man's already inside of him already. Without the sword, he became the feral version that you see in the cartoon. But in the movie, but when you see the movie and you see the conduit there, where you know when Skeletor breaks the sword and it basically kills him, that bit there. That bit told you already. The sword, the sorceress basically says to him, he goes, "Oh, the sword is broken. The sword is gone." She said, "Don't worry about the sword. The sword is just a conduit. The power was already on the side of you." What did you say? What were the words that you said? By the power of Grayskull, and finish it.
Yeah, I have the power, not the sword.
Right. That's what I said to you. The sword is a conduit. He has the power, and that's the same for everybody else. They have the power to control their destiny. You don't need to just go along with the flow. You have the power to say what you need to say. Say it.
I think I'm going to get out again.
Well, Pete, yeah, I think with you, I'm going to leave this show alone. So, Pete, yeah, love having you on. Hopefully, I want to have you on more often, Pete,
I
because
can
I
hardly.
love. Right, sorry, Pete. I'm going to say I'm going to end the show here. Technical difficulties happen, but it's life. Pete, hopefully, I have you on again because I love talking to you, mate. And it was so nice talking to you about He-Man, man. So finding a passionate fan like myself to talk to him about He-Man with and bounce off and relate to. So thank you very much for coming in today. And mate, anytime you want to talk about a movie, I would love to have you on again. Oop, not again. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us on B.M.G.T. We'll speak to you guys later. Please tune into a video on Sports Centric at 6 o'clock tonight, where we're going to talk more in depth. And best word to say as we finish a He-Man one, good journey. Bye.